Hey, everybody. Welcome to the last chapter in the Secret Code of Success, Step 7, Finding Your Because. A quote right at the beginning of the chapter says, "This is the true joy in life, the being used for a purpose, recognized by yourself as mighty." Right? Isn't that so true? Most people don't know their purpose in life. To find your because means you know your ultimate why to. We talked about why to's in the first 3 chapters of the book. And it's so important and a foundational concept as we move through additional chapters. So, most people don't know their purpose in life, but to find your because means you know your ultimate why to. So, in regards to your plexus business, when finding your because, this will make you unstoppable because a person acting out their purpose cannot be stopped. The author says when we look at the 3%ers, happy, successful people who are just the naturals at success, we finally realize that they are being who they are and living out their purpose in life. That is key to being fulfilled. That is key to contentment. That is key to joy. If you don't have a purpose or a reason for what you're doing, you have to find it. That is vital. And this is in regards to, not only your business, but your life in general. People are not attracted to people who don't know their because. Do you believe that? Think about that. People are not attracted or drawn to people who do not know their because, who do not know their ultimate why to. He goes on to say that people don't follow followers, people follow leaders. And I absolutely could not agree more with that. I have heard so often from teammates in this business, even sidelines, that they are fearful to lead. But you can become that strong leader. He tells us that if we do 3 things, we can really grow into leaders. And the first one is defining your core competencies. The second is identifying your avenues of expression. And then the third is releasing your spirit. So your core competencies are what you're, naturally gifted in, what comes natural to you that you don't even have to think about. In fact, you may not even realize they're giftings or strengths because they come naturally to you. And how do we identify those? So first, you want to define to define your core competencies, we're going to define your strengths. So I want you to ask these few questions that are outlined in this chapter in the Secret Code and write them down. Please, please don't just answer these flippantly or casually. I really want you to be thoughtful towards it. Get a blank piece of paper and write up at the top, finding my because, finding my ultimate why to. So let's define those strengths. And, if you have a hard time coming up with those, go to trusted friends or your spouse, a teammate, your sister, your brother, and ask them what strengths they see in you. A lot of times it's easier for others to identify those than it is for us to identify them in ourselves. I used to have a really hard time, honestly, defining my strengths because I didn't feel that was humble. I realized that we all have strengths. And instead of me focusing on my weaknesses, I realized that I do have a lot of strengths to offer. And I'm doing myself and my team a total disservice by not defining them. Because if I can't define them, I can't act them out fully. I can't reach my full potential. So ask yourself these questions. I hope you have your piece of paper. I feel strong when ... For me, that's answered, I feel strong when I train a group of people on something that I'm crazy passionate about, like Plexus, right? What about this one? People I trust have told me that my strengths are... For me, that's answered, people I trust have told me my strengths are connecting and relating to others, casting vision for others, and being relatable or real. Okay, and what about what actions can I take to express and highlight my strengths in my Plexus business? He then continues on by asking us to document our skills. So now you may be asking, well, Tamara, what actually is the difference between a strength and a skill? And I see a strength as something, like I mentioned, that you're naturally gifted at. And then a skill is something that can be learned and that you can become really great at. We can all develop new skills. Cooking is not a natural gift of mine by any means. It is my mother. My mom is an amazing cook, and she just figured it all out one day when she was 19 years old, and she got married super young, and she became this amazing cook. Now, cooking is becoming something that I'm pretty good at, but it's not a natural gift to me. It's something that I've had to learn and develop in myself in order to get good. I'll be honest with you, when I first got married, I didn't know how to scramble an egg. And I barely knew how to make a grilled cheese. And you may be laughing at me, but that's a true story. That was 10 years ago, so give me a little grace. But it's something that I have learned so much about because I've applied myself and I've made it a priority. Okay, so I want you to just, realize in your mind, like see the difference between a strength, natural gifting, and then a skill is something that we can actually learn and become great at. So I want you to finish these sentences on that same piece of paper to help you to find your skill set. So one would be, I know I'm really good at blank. Next, people tell me they appreciate it in me or like it when I blank. And then next, actions I can do to increase my skill set are. And then take some time and write those out on the piece of paper as well. And then lastly, in defining our core competencies is defining our desires. We talk about dreaming big on this team all the time because it is such an important piece of finding your because. So on that same piece of paper, write down this and then come back and I want you to answer these questions if you haven't already. First, if money were no object, I would ... Second, I'm happiest when ... Third, actions I can take or do to follow my dreams are. And then what is your bucket list of dreams? These questions, when you define those, will really help you drill down and define your deepest dreams and your deepest desires. The next part of this important step is to identify your avenues of expression. This is how you're going to express those strengths, those skills, those dreams, those desires. My favorite piece of this is when he talks about resolving to persist. I love that, resolving to persist. He says when you resolve to persist, you become fundamentally unstoppable. He says that a few times in this chapter, fundamentally unstoppable. Why is that so important? Because at the first sign of trouble, without a strong Y2 of success, you're just going to give up, take a seat, head out. I see it all the time in this business. People give up before they actually give themselves a true chance to succeed. In our Plexus business, we have to resolve to persist no matter the circumstance if we want to continue to move onward and move upward. That is why finding and defining your because is a crucial step to your success, a crucial step in this process, a crucial step to finding your joy, your purpose. So when you, come upon a red light, are you going to stop, turn around, and go home, call it quits? Or will you take a left or a right or go around the stoplight and persist, strive on? So on that same piece of paper, I want you to write down, why will I persist? And then jot a few things down. Why will you specifically not give up? Why will you specifically persist in this business? And then lastly, he talks about releasing your spirit. And I'll be honest with you, when I first read that line, I was like, okay, that sounds a little hokey. But when I kept reading it, when you keep reading it, it really does line up. It really does make sense. Two of my favorite sentences in this book, because they were so eye-opening for me, are when your opinion of your past, present, and future tends to be positive, you'll be happy. When your opinion of your past, present, and future tends to be negative, you're going to be unhappy. You're going to be discontent. This really struck me, you guys, because I have tendencies to focus on the past and get really bogged down with allowing it to affect my today. With allowing it to affect my present, like maybe financial mistakes that we made several years ago, or the not so ideal environment I grew up in as a child. having divorced parents since I was 2 years old. Those are things that I have allowed myself to really focus on. Things in my past, things that, are or were less than ideal, but they're also things I cannot change. So why focus on it and allow myself to have a negative opinion of my past? How does that help me move forward? How does that help me be present today? So, when reading this chapter, I want you to read this section at least twice over because it truly holds so much truth, and I think it's key to life. The author says it is as easy as 1, 2, 3 to change your opinion of your past, present, and future. Okay, so first, I want you to forgive your past. Next, he talks about appreciating your present, and then to step in to your best future. So when you haven't or you choose not to forgive your past, you're bound to the past by chains, guys, that are so strong. He says they're stronger than steel. So who do you need to forgive? Is it yourself? Is it someone else, a friend maybe, a parent, a sibling, someone that you really trusted that let you down? What do you need to let go of so that you personally can move on to a healthier place in your life? The word forgive, I loved this too. A lot of things I loved, right? The word forgive, to give for. To give for. Look at the word forgive, to give for. Wow. I mean, you are giving for the purpose of being free. You are giving forgiveness. You are giving for the purpose of being set free, free from those chains that are holding you back, free from that prison and bitterness and resentment that unforgiveness can hold. I know it's hard to forgive the past. I mean, trust me, I have some very personal experience with it in a few areas of my life. But what I'm coming to realize is that I don't want to live in the past. I don't want to be chained to the past. I don't want to be rooted in resentment or regret because of my past, to be discontent with my present because I'm focused on my past. So if I want to be content and see value and appreciation and joy in my presence, in my present, then I have to let it go. I have to forgive it. He then goes on to talk about appreciating your present, right? Because we can't appreciate our present until we forgive and let go of the past. So appreciating our present. The word appreciate literally means to raise in value. But what do most of us do? We compare our present to someone else's present, or at least the appearance of someone else's present, right? Why don't I have what they have? Why isn't my house as nice as their house? Why don't I have as much money as she has? Why don't I have the close friendships that she has? Why is she a jewel and I'm not? Yes, it is so important to have goals and dreams and to strive hard for them. But the problem lies when we don't appreciate what we do have in life. And he goes into a lot more depth at the end of this chapter about that. Please, please read that. Don't just listen to this chapter summary. I want you to read through that because it gives a lot of good examples of appreciating and how to appreciate what we do have in life. Also, take a look at the chart in the chapter about appreciating your present. And fill that out also on your piece of paper. He asks you to list out, what you like about your present, what you don't like about your present, and ask then who can help you grow in this. You guys, I have loved this book for so many reasons. I'm actually a little bit sad it's over. We may bring it back up in future months and go through it again as a team because I'm sure it will be one for me personally that I will listen to and read over and over again. I have the book and I have the Audible. So there's definitely a few chapters that I just want to listen to over and over again to really take it all in. I hope that you've taken some time with this book and you will go back and reread it and really begin to implement these changes that it begs of you. It's totally one thing, and this goes for any book. It's one thing to read it. It's another thing to begin to apply those principles discussed in each chapter. To find your because will give you great joy because you will be a part of something bigger than the routine, bigger than yourself as you begin to work toward and live out your purpose in your business and in your life. I hope you guys have enjoyed this book. I hope that you have gained something personally from it and that it is going to continue to work in your life, helping to grow yourself personally and grow your business by utilizing so many of these concepts that were new to us as a team. They were most definitely new to me. Just different ways to approach life and to approach success and how to define that. Have a great day, and I hope that there was something that you got from this video today to really help you move forward. Definitely take the time, that blank piece of paper, and get all those things written out. I think seeing it all in one place is super impactful. And if you want to share it with me, feel free to private message me and let me see those, and I'll celebrate with you. Thanks, guys.